Hey everybody, the Reswirl here, and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney. Okay, so it's... I can't remember what part of the trial we're on. Oh, continue. Trial 3? Wait, the runaway room? When did I make... Ah, that's when I ended the second case. Okay. Ep 3, resume! Alrighty. After a failed session of Leonard's Inception, let's chill out with some Great Ace Attorney and hopefully get to the end of Ep 3. What the hell? Oh, I was about to say, what the hell just happened? Like, why is the music so intense? But it's because of... like, the entire courtroom got smoked for some reason. Alright, let's go. What on earth just happened? Naruhodo, I think I have a grasp of the situation. Good. Let us know, please. Susato. It appears that a very potent smoke grenade was detonated. Smoke grenade? Oh, like the smoke bombs ninjas use? They're verifying the safety of the court now. Preparations to resume the trial are underway. Just who would do something like that? Someone attempting to escape from the Crown Court was captured by the bailiff. Attempting to escape? Well, that's one way to put it. Huh. Oh god, watch it be that woman that was mentioned. Briefly, albeit, but she was still mentioned. Indeed, it was a young girl about 15 years of age. Why are they always 15? That's the same age as that bloody ballerina from the second case. A young girl? Could that be? The third passenger who Mr. McGundle was talking about? I believe so too. I knew it. That third party really did exist. Oh, and whatever happened to Mr. McGundle? There's so much I have to ask him, but he hasn't returned to this lobby. It seems he was summoned to the prosecutor's office to be pressed for information. That young girl is accompanying him as well. Just who is she? A relative. And why did she come to this trial in the first place? She knew it would be risky, and I doubt there was anything to gain from doing so. I also have one issue I am curious of. What would that be? It's the 20 pence. Hmm? Why? According to what that coachman Beppo has testified, on that night the fee was at 5 pence per person, with 4 passengers on the ride. So the total is 20 pence. The sum matches up perfectly. However, here we have a fifth customer appearing. Once again, the sum of 20 makes no sense. That really is strange. Attorney, head to the Crown Court at once. The preparation for the trial to resume is complete. It will resume in 5 minutes. Got it. I'll head over immediately. In any case, I believe that this girl will take the witness stand. I assume that the contents of her testimony will determine the outcome of this trial. That's usually the case. Shall we go in, Susato? Let's. Oh yeah. Alright, trial 3 is underway. We haven't done any investigation for this case. No. This case has been literally nothing but trial after trial after trial. Or trial to trial to trial. Crown Court. Oh, the jurors are back. Wait a minute, is that her? Ow. It certainly looks like it. Ooh. That young girl next to Mr. McGundle. Could it be? It looks like she's the one who caused that ruckus earlier. Now then, the court is back in session for the trial of Cosney McGundle. Lord Van Zeeks. Yes, my lord. Could you please explain the origin of that strange smoke from earlier? We believe that a military-grade smoke grenade was detonated here. Military-grade? Why is that being used here? The one who attempted to slip out of the courthouse through the smoke has been caught. It was the woman. Yep. The culprit stands right there. Miss, state your name. Were you the one behind the confusion caused by the smoke grenade earlier? Why in heaven's name did you do that? Excuse me, may I, Lord Judge? What is it, defendant? It might be better for me to provide the explanation. in regards to why this girl is here and why she tried to escape. Everything is related to what transpired on the night of the incident, really. Okay. Very well then, the court orders the defendant to testify. Speak in regards to this incident and its relation to this young girl. I wonder what exactly happened during the incident that night. If only I could have heard about all of it before the trial started. Yeah, it probably would have helped, but never mind. Witness testimony. Whoosh. Her relation to the crime. That night I had seated myself on the back seat inside the coach. There I nodded off to sleep. Sometime later, I was woken up by an abrupt, loud sound accompanied by a small scream. In front of my eyes laid a man. I helped him up and sat him on the seats. Though trembling with shock, I investigated the area where the scream had come from. To my surprise, there was a young girl hidden there, curled up tight and quiet as a mouse. Okay. Odd. I'm not sure if I completely understand, but essentially, that young girl, she was riding the omnibus when the crime occurred. You are correct, as the good barrister asserted earlier. There was indeed a fifth passenger on the omnibus. Huh. Very well. It appears it is about time to hear the attorney's cross-examination then. Attorney, are you prepared? Yes, my lord. The judge expects me to clear this up, but I have absolutely no idea what is going on here. Don't know why it pointed over to him. How odd. Her relation to the crime. That night I had seated myself on the back seat inside the coach. There I nodded off to sleep. Mata! When you got on the omnibus, was anyone else on board? No, no one else was inside the coach, nor up on the rooftop seats. In other words, the defendant was the first passenger. Indeed, I was merely sitting comfortably on the back seats inside the omnibus. By back seats, do you mean... Why, as you yourself so expertly pointed out just now, my good barrister. I mean the seat directly across from where the gentleman who'd been stabbed was sitting. It was the most comfortable spot for me, you see. After all, you can't be seen through the skylight from there. That's just making him sound more guilty. Why is Zeke's being so quiet? Sometime later, I was woken up by an abrupt, loud sound accompanied by a small scream. Yep, press everything. A loud noise, and a scream. It was... yes. There was quite a remarkable thud. I believe it was much like the sound of a man falling over. That must have been the sound of the victim, Mr. Mortar, falling over after being stabbed. I was asleep at the time, you see, so I can't say for sure. Furthermore, when I awoke, not another soul did I see in the coach, save for the gentleman laying on the floor before me. There was no one else in there. Yet at the time you said you heard a scream, right? Perhaps that scream arose from the rooftop seating area. No, I heard that scream from inside the coach. What the f... However, at that moment, the scream was the least of my worries. For you see, I could hardly believe what I saw before my own eyes. God, this guy's just giving us the loop. The runaround. I were going through hoops. And loop-de-loops. In front of my eyes laid a man. I helped him up and sat him on the seats. He was bleeding severely. You set the victim up on the seat? Oh, so they were right. So he was on the ground. Yes, sir. On the seat right across from me, I had realised he was dead, you see. I felt that it would be disrespectful to simply leave the poor soul on the floor like that. After all, I am a sympathetic man, you know. Huh. Quite a curious story, defendant. Alright, he does speak. Well now, whatever might you mean, Prosecutor Van Zieks? If a dead man dropped before his very eyes, a sane person would call the coachman at once. Were they your average principled Londoner, that is? As you well know, I hold a rather maligned profession. You're referring to your business as a salary lender, correct? There are those who would borrow money from me, only to be ungrateful and set out to kill me. So the last thing I want would be to get wrapped up in such a nasty affair. Then, you were just going to leave the victim's body like that? Heavens me, of course not. I had intended to report the incident to the police. I simply wished to ensure the circumstances were crystal clear before doing so. The circumstances? Indeed. I thought it a good idea beforehand to investigate anything that struck me as strange. Like where that faint scream I heard really came from, for instance. That would strike anyone as strange, wouldn't you say? The scream he heard alongside the victim falling down, huh? Okay. Though trembling with shock, I investigated the area where the scream had come from. Excuse me, but what do you mean by that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you and the victim the only ones in the coach? Correct, at first glance in any case, which means you weren't. At first glance. Yes, indeed. Imagine my shock when I heard that tiny little scream. And it came from directly beneath my rear. Oh! Like a hidden compartment. What in the... beneath your... rear? Right then and there, I lifted up the seat cushion. As it turned out, under the seat was a trunk. Naruhodo, we can take a look at the omnibus too. Come to think of it, it was submitted into evidence, right? Maybe now would be a good time to give it another good look. Anyway, after that, I went ahead and peeked inside the trunk. Huh. Oh god, I can't. Fuck. To my surprise, there was a young girl hidden there, curled up tight and quiet as a mouse. Okay, I see. It has a trunk. What a weird thing. Before we actually read that, I do want to look at this. How do I look inside? Open. Now let us tear open the door and charge into the omnibus. Ugh. No matter how enthusiastically you put it, it's still a crime scene. This is awful. Ah, there we go. There's the blood. So... oh, I can... Yeah, there is a trunk. That's why there's a handle. Looks like there's a handle attached to the seat here. There it is. Huh. The trunk seems to be empty. There's nothing inside at all. What is this feeling in the back of my mind? So there's none here. Oh nice, you can actually look at all this stuff. Oh, they're nice. Huh. So yeah, there's a trunk. One... Okay, so there was actually a fifth passenger, but the fifth passenger wasn't... They didn't pay. They like got smuggled on board or something. What is that? Armband. Oh nice. Alright. She was hiding in the trunk. Yes indeed. That's what I saw. When I caught sight of her cowering there, in the dim light of the lamp, well, I surely thought that my heart was going to stop. Something about all of this seems really off. At any rate, I dragged her out of there. Then I set her on the seat opposite me, intent on hearing what she had to say. The seat opposite you? Yes, right next to the dead chap who was already occupying a spot. You seated this young lady right next to the victim's corpse? As I believe I mentioned earlier, due to the nature of my work, much to my dismay, I've had crosshairs trained on me. Therefore, it was of the utmost importance for me to learn just who exactly this girl was. But then as I was speaking with her, I heard a gentleman scream overhead. That must have been The two passengers on the roof, I suppose. Indeed, that is what I am led to believe. They likely saw the stabbed gent lined up next to what appeared to be a young girl. So you're saying what the two on the roof saw was not you, but instead they saw the victim sitting next to this young lady. That is exactly right. Because you see, I was seated in the back, which cannot be seen from the skylight. What on earth? I see. The defendant does have a somewhat compact physique. I suppose it isn't a stretch to say that this girl could have been mistaken for him. That was when, upon hearing the gentleman scream from the roof, the coachman stopped the omnibus. Enough. The situation is now perfectly clear. However, we now have a fundamental question. Just who exactly is this girl? I'm told that her name is Gina Lestrade. She hides in places where people gather, then pounces out and steals their wallets. Oh! She is what you would call a pickpocket. What? This little girl is a pickpocket? Judge, your wig appears to be, slipping. Order, order! Do you take issue with this claim, Miss, Lestrade? Or Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, answer me at once. Oh, whoa. What the fuck? Okay, she has a gun. Heavens! What in the blazes are you? Oh, what in blazes are you? And she's escaping. The girl just disappeared. What are you looking at? Oh, she moved. Oh! If you're looking for me, I'm right here. When did you get over there? Was there any point in moving like that? Not really. What the hell? And I know all about what your adults are thinking. God, this is gonna be hard to read. This dirty maltooler messed up and got caught on the job. She went mental and stabbed that other bloke. Ain't that right? That's not true. A court house is a place where we seek the truth. We want to make sure... well, that was green. Don't forget that I'm a pro. The whole livelihood is dependent on these quick fingers. Only cowards use knives. Pickpockets' pride won't stand for it. But it's not cowardly at all to use that thing filled with smoke, right? This, Gov. I picked this up from a bag at the omnibus station the other day. Pretty little thing, don't you think? I think I like me a bit of pink. Don't aim that at me. Is he gonna shatter this? So, you are riding on the omnibus then? It's alright. You'll tell them the truth, won't you? Yeah, that's right. Then the court shall acknowledge this girl, Gina Lestrade, as a new witness. Oh, pardon me. As such, we order you to testify. Speak in regards to what transpired in the omnibus on the night of the incident. Alright, I gotcha. Okay. What the girl saw. As always, I'd already sneaked in before the horse was hitched to the coach. But I couldn't get any business. It was really an awful night. It was pitch dark in my little hiding spot. I seriously couldn't see nothing. I like the way she talked. Then suddenly there was a loud noise. Of course, it was enough to make me scream a little. After that, this old geezer here found me, but he let me get away. Oh, that's everything. He let you get away. Why, defendant, did you allow this girl to flee to begin with? The reason is quite simple. I knew she could not possibly be the culprit, you see. What do you mean? As I said earlier. I was sitting on top of her little hiding spot, the trunk. Let us make sure of it ourselves. This is the very seat I was seated in on the night of the incident. This hiding spot would be the space beneath this seat, yes? Ta-da! Indeed, a young girl would be able to fit and hide in here. But on that night, she wasn't able to exit from that trunk. After all, I was sitting on it the whole time. Oh. So you see, I let her escape. I feared that revealing the girl would draw suspicion towards her, and she'd be arrested. I did not wish to involve this girl, with a future ahead of her with incidents as cruel as this. But as a result, all the suspicion was set on you instead. That is nothing but a trifle. Ooh. I know that I'm innocent, so why should I be afraid? I was willing to put that innocence on the line in order to save this poor little girl. Unbelievable. Oh, what an upright... uptight. I thought that's what she said. What an upright man. My lord. There's no way such a noble man could be the culprit. Wait, is he going to change his vote? And to think we ever doubted you. Shit. If you interpret it with cold hard logic, then it is clear who is correct. Wait. So now they're all on not guilty. What's the catch? Amazing. All 6 jurors have voted not guilty. What's gonna happen? Naruhodo, this means what? This means that we've won. Well, technically yeah, but we still don't know who did it. We won? It doesn't feel real, even when you say it outright. Oh, there it is! Yes! I knew he did that. Yeah, because I said he had a really cool desk slam, but I didn't know when he was gonna do it. How impudent of me to thrash my steel heel about like a brute. I plead for your forgiveness. Oh? Why is everybody so shocked? This is truly it. This is the single greatest weakness of the courtrooms of the Great British Empire. What, they can be swayed by emotion? A legal system which occasionally has mere emotion countervailing evidence or logic. Emotion. Even this very testimony reveals the defendant's true colours. What do you mean by true colours? Scotland Yard has never, nor will it ever, overlook any minor detail in its investigations. When Scotland Yard investigated the omnibus, naturally they inspected the inside of that trunk. This trunk was full of the coachman's belongings. The report written by the investigative officers clearly says as much. What did you say? Someone tampered with the scene. In a ploy to support this false testimony, someone spirited the items away. What? I knew something was going to happen. Order, order. I cannot believe such a thing to be possible. Of course, I must admit the Yard's culpability is in mistakenly allowing that window of opportunity. However, when I had the omnibus transported into the Old Bailey this morning, the trunk was definitely not empty. So then, Japanese boy. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, me? He thinks we did it? The omnibus itself was presented to the court as evidence. As an attorney, you should have long since inspected it, both inside and out. What was inside of that trunk? I believe you know, of course. Oh no. Ah, my good barrister. I'm sure you understand, yes? Mr. McGundle? By all means, go ahead and say it. Tell them that Lord Van Zeke's words are no more than baseless accusations. Ooh. Oh god. Well, what are your thoughts, attorney? Are we commenting on what we saw? How should I answer this? What should I say about the contents of the trunk? It was empty, I didn't look there. Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, I know this goes against the narrative, but it was empty. I think it doesn't matter what I say, to be honest. I believe that it was empty. But honestly, I don't remember clearly. Are you kidding me? Bullshit, I don't remember clearly. Sheesh. I thought as much. It seems it would be a mistake to assume these Eastern children have any shred of conscience. Wait, what? Oh, fuck you. Naruhodo. Very well done. That's my fine barrister. I don't like Mr. McGundle. Not particularly. He knows what he should and shouldn't say in this situation. Not the case, I'm just saying what's true. I looked in the trunk, there was bugger all there. Besides, there shouldn't be any need to discuss this any further at this point. The truth is simple. Simply take a look for yourself. Look at it any way you want. It is empty, is it not? Well, that is certainly true. Something feels wrong about this. I agree. Very well. Let's hear the jurors' thoughts. That trunk is meant to hold maintenance equipment for the omnibus. According to the Guild's regulations, it should contain exactly that. Thus, that night was no different. I trust Beppo. The celebrity and the pickpocket are both lying. Oh, for fuck's sake, we're going back and forth. No! Uh-oh. Damn it, I almost forgot. I hate rich people. Rich people never play by the rules. Huh? This can't be happening. That testimony was nothing but a trick. A ruse. I'm afraid that I must agree. Son of a bitch. Well. What is happening? If you interpret it with cold hard logic, then it is clear who is correct. You're saying the same thing as before. Yep. As you can see, my lord, you cannot justify a not guilty verdict at this point in time. Very well. The court believes that a cross-examination is in order. Bup. Attorney, this court orders you to begin your cross-examination of these witnesses. Understood. This is too much. Our momentum turned against us, just like that. The rumours about Prosecutor Van Zeeks were no joke. And he just stands there and says nothing. You dick. Alright, cross-examination time! As always, I'd already sneaked in before the horse was hitched to the coach. Gonna press everything again. In other words, you were already in the omnibus before it departed, correct? Yeah, that's right. I sneaked in to steal, so it'd be weird for me to appear to get in, yeah? True. That's for sure. What kind of defense attorney would pay to defend someone? Defense, please do not be swayed by the twisted logic of this pickpocket. Anyway, it would seem the mystery of the coach fare has been resolved, yes? 4 patrons paid 5 pence each, so the coachman's profit is 20 pence. The 5th patron, if you will, rode free of charge. You see, that coachman will always eat up at the pub before the final trip, every time. That was when I decided to slip into the omnibus. Makes sense, doesn't it? However, the trunk under the seat you claim to have hidden yourself in was in fact full of maintenance tools for the coach, was it not? Yeah, brushes, buckets and other odds and ends are always stored in there. Usually I just take all the stuff out and toss it in the corner or something. None of the customers on board ever pay attention to it, surprisingly. However, when the police rushed to the scene upon being notified of the incident, indeed the coachman's tools were still inside the trunk. Well, don't ask me about it. I wouldn't have a clue. I just piled up the coachman's stuff and hid myself in the trunk, that's all. Very well. Now then, please continue with your testimony. I couldn't get any business. It was really an awful night. What do you mean about not getting any business? She didn't steal from anybody. Well, usually in an omnibus, the wind dies down at some point. Just a moment, please. What do you mean by the wind dies down? Oh, that's just a phrase we use. It means all the customers have left, and the coach is all quiet like. So when the wind dies down, that's your chance to leave your hiding spot. Pretty much. But that night, that old bloke was sitting in the seat the whole time. You know what else? He was fast asleep. I was completely shut in. So what you're saying is you were inside the trunk under the seat the whole time up until the incident occurred. Is that correct? Yep. Ain't that right, mister? Yes, indeed. Even I. I surely would have woken up had I been pushed off the cushion when it was lifted. So it would have been impossible for this girl, Gina, to have committed the crime. It was pitch dark in my little hiding spot. Seriously, couldn't see nothing. I like how she talks. So you didn't get a good look at the scene inside of the omnibus then? No, so like, normally I would push up the cushion with my head. And then, I'd scope out me prey in secrecy. Your prey? The cushion on the seat I did myself in is harder, oh my god, than the one on the opposite end. Thanks to that, not a lot of people choose to sit on it, know what I mean? But that night, this bloke here just sat right on the seat throughout the whole ride. So because of that, you couldn't see the inside of the coach, right? To be frank, I ain't into dark spaces. They make me feel all claustrophobic-like. Or claustrophobic-like. But I had to hide myself there, in order to make sure I wouldn't be found. That being the case, you'd think you'd just give up being a pickpocket. But by the looks of things, she has her own troubles as it is. Anyway, I was right scared, but I had no other choice but to be as still as possible. And suddenly there was a loud noise. Of course, it was enough to make me scream a little. Could that loud noise have been the sound of a person falling down on the floor? I'm pretty sure that's what I thought it was. Can't really remember. Either way, I was startled. And before you could stop yourself, you let out a shriek. Then all of a sudden, the cushion on my head got lighter. That must have been when Mr. McGundle was helping the fallen victim back up, right? Or perhaps... it was when he got up from his seat in order to stab the victim sitting across from him. Yep. Doubtful. Witness, at that time, did you happen to see what had happened with your own eyes? I did. When I pushed up the cushion with my head and had a little gander through the opening, It looked like the old bloke was sitting in the other bloke, or sitting the other bloke back up on his seat. That lines up with Mr. McGundle's testimony. And then suddenly he looked back towards me. All instinctive-like. I tried to shrink back down. After that, this old geezer old geezer here found me. But he let me get away. Mata! When Mr. McGundle found you, did he force you out of your hiding spot? I was right scared I was. He sat me on the opposite seat. That was where the victim, Mr. Mortar, was sitting, right? Yeah, a knife was stabbed in him, and he was bleeding like a sieve. At one point, when the coach shook suddenly, the body fell on me. Ugh. Ugh, how dreadful. That was when I got blood on my hands, and then I conked right out. Blood on both hands. Ah. Is that what the two seated on the roof saw? Then you spoke with Mr. McGundle, correct? He asked me a bunch of questions. Stuff like what my name was and why I was hiding. Then I heard a bloke's voice coming from the omnibus, or from above the omnibus. That would have been the two men seated on the roof, wouldn't it? I didn't want them to see me face, so I didn't look up at him. Then when the coach stopped, the old geezer pointed at the seat and said, "Quickly, hide near. I'll help you get away." Interesting. Moments ago, all 6 jurors were in agreement over a not guilty verdict. Only for a single instant, though. Perhaps, but there's no denying that their feelings are shifting. So if we can just find a decisive clue in this testimony, then this time we'll win our not guilty verdict for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. And yet, something's really bugging me. I just can't quite put my finger on what it is. Okay, so we've already pressed all of these. Pitch black in my little hiding spot, she couldn't see nothing. So you didn't get a good look at the scene in the omnibus then? So like normally I'd push up the cushion, push up the cushion with my head. Then I'd scope out my prey in secrecy. Nothing seems new. The cushion on the seat I hid myself in is harder than the one on the opposite side, or opposite end. Thanks to that, not a lot of people choose to sit on it, know what I mean? But that night, this bloke here just sat right on the seat throughout the whole ride. So because of that, you couldn't see inside the coach, right? To be frank... Oh! What the fuck was that? What is that there? In the dark spaces that make me feel all claustrophobic, like, why is he giggling? Question! Giotto! May I ask you a question, Mr. McGundle? Ah, I beg your pardon. What is it, my good barrister? Do you recall the events as Miss Lestrade described in her testimony? You appear to have been lost in thought. Ah, no. While I was listening to her, I was struck by what a horrible sight it must have been for the poor girl. In truth, I too have these memories in my youth. I was afraid of the dark. Well, everyone was afraid of the dark once. I'm still afraid of the dark, though. At that time, to make up for my lack of vision, I would focus my hearing, so that no sound would elude me. Okay. Now that I think of it, I might have been listening carefully too. Then that means... Could you have heard something? Did you hear any strange noises? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the sound of the old geezer's conch blowing off. Wait, what? Well, it would seem I've done a terrible misdeed to this sweet young lady. Ooh, that's a shame. If only she had heard something strange. It could have been a helpful clue. Yeah, it really could have. Was anything wrong with Gina's testimony just now? I'm gonna say it's important. It usually is. My lord. Miss Lestrade's testimony just now is incredibly important. Important? But according to the witness's earlier remarks, she didn't hear a single thing. And that is exactly what is so important. That's right, it might be important. It is, it isn't, it might be. I can say that I understand this black-clad Asian attorney's train of thought. I can't say. God. By the way, witness, Gina Lestrade, please append your latest remark to your testimony. Append? What do you mean, like? Don't be using hard words on me. I won't get what you're trying to say. Good grief. Ah, that's what she meant. Okay. So listen to what was going on the out. All I could hear was snoring. So the whole time after getting in the coach, you were listening to everything. Well, I don't know if I'd say the whole time. Huh? When I first got in the trunk, there was nobody else around. So I lifted up the cushion and looked around the coach from there. When I saw that geezer get in the coach, I sank back into the trunk. Then Mr. McGonagall sat down on top of your head. What a blooming tart, right? Then I just spent the whole time listening to whatever I could. I was planning on skedaddling as soon as I heard the bloke get off. But although the coach kept stopping starting over and over, I ain't ever heard the door open once. All I could hear was the sound of the old geezer's conch blowing off. Okay. There's something about Gina's testimony just now. Contradiction! She said she didn't hear anything, but that's not true. Miss Lestrade, your testimony just now. It contains a glaring contradiction. What? What's a contradiction? A contradiction? My word. Indeed. It would appear even our Asian exchange student has noticed that much. Prosecutor Van Zieks, did he notice it as well? Oh, pardon me. Defense? It requests that you present evidence or that you name a suspect. Oh, I can't stop hiccuping. Yes, my lord. Now reveal to us this contradiction you've discovered. That night when Gina was hiding in the omnibus, she says she heard nothing other than Mr. McGonagall snoring. However, there was something else that could have produced an audible noise. The person. Yeah. Mortar when he fell to the floor. The defense will present its thoughts on the matter. Ooh, nice slam. That night, Miss Lestrade heard something inside the omnibus. It would have been very strange if you didn't hear something related to this person. There we go. Thrice fired a mortar. Lived in the East End. Despite his skill as a brickmason, it seemed that he owed the defendant a large sum of money. Ooh dear. Thrice fired mortar? That's right, the sound that she should have heard was the sound of the victim entering the omnibus. Oh, not the thud. Oh yeah, that too. Oh, whatever. I was right with the person. Just wrong with, where I went. Order, order. Attorney, what is the meaning of this? She did say she didn't hear the door open once, but I just kind of glanced over that, I guess. Miss Lestrade, there's something I want to confirm with you. You were the first one to enter the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, I was already on board while the coachman was having a munch at the pub. So the next person who boarded was Mr. McGonagall, right? Yes, when I boarded, there was nobody inside the coach. At least, nobody that I could see. And nobody else boarded with you. Is that right, Mr. McGonagall? That's correct. I make a habit of riding the bus alone, you see. Plus, when I peeked out through the cushions, That old geezer was boarding all alone. After that, you say the omnibus stopped several times. But you never heard the sound of the door opening. Yeah, I probably should have picked up on that, but never mind. I got it. I just was incredibly wrong. But yeah, whatever. No mistake so far, right? Right. She doesn't sound so sure of herself. I was on high alert. If that door had opened, I defo wouldn't have missed it. Then explain to me just one thing. When exactly could the victim have boarded the omnibus? Ah. The victim's corpse was found inside the coach after all. In other words... Mr. Lestrade, your testimony is contradictory. You what? You what? Correct, this little pickpocket's testimony holds a major contradiction. Lord Van Zieks. I thought so. The contradiction in her testimony didn't escape the prosecutor, either. Okay, he's giggling. It looks like I owe the defense my thanks. What are you talking about? You've made it all clear now. This witness, and her entire testimony... You can't put stock in any of it. She's just spouting convenient lies. Ooh. Oh shit. Well, you know it's true. The victim had to have boarded the omnibus. There's no other way. She did call herself a pickpocket, of course she's suspicious. Why has she got her hand raised? Uh-oh. Oh no! No! Fuck. That's why her hand was raised. She didn't even say a word. We shouldn't be biased just because she's a little thief. But... girls shouldn't lie either. You got that right. Foreman. He's going back. I'm not going to discriminate just because she's a thief. But hey. Damn anyone who would lie. Fuck. We're going to be back at guilty, aren't we? Only needs one more. And it's going to be the maid. Naruhodo. Now 5 of the jurors believe he's guilty. Shit. No, it can't be, because we can't, unless we do another clash. But I doubt it. It appears that those naive little oriental children have saved me a fair bit of effort. Exquisite. Oh dear. Look what you've done. This is all your fault. Whose side are you on, you filthy cheating Japs? Whoa. Jesus. It's like a beautiful rendition of hell. Juror 2 is the only one left. Naruhodo, this doesn't look good. Right now, I need to reveal some new possibility. Or else, they really will reach a guilty verdict. I really wanted to believe in our very own celebrity, Mr. McGundle. But... oh no! Accepting the cruel truths that come with the turn of the century is part of a servant's duty. No! Oh my god. Yes, it's true. There was a major contradiction in her testimony. However, if that testimony still happened to be true, we might find that a new possibility appears. What? Barrister. Oh, what exactly do you mean? Put the hand down. Let's not get hasty. Or let's not do anything rash. Defense, we won't let you stand there and try to buy time. We want to know your thoughts immediately. That evening, the victim was not present when our suspect entered the coach. Yet, from that moment onward, this witness claims that the door was never opened. But as the facts tell us, the victim's corpse was on the floor of the coach. If this little pickpocket girl's testimony is somehow true, how could the victim have possibly appeared in the coach? I'll tell you. Maybe. The victim somehow appeared in the coach. One reasonable possibility is... he didn't use the door. The skylight. The skylight could be a possible way of getting in. That's what I'll go with. He didn't use the door. That's the only plausible explanation. Keeping in mind that the door never opened, there's only one possibility. We have to consider that the victim entered not through the door, but somewhere else. Ridiculous. I was beginning to wonder what dark line of logic your desperation might lead you on. Look carefully at the omnibus. On one side of the coach there is a door, on the other side are windows. But those windows could not be opened, therefore, there is no somewhere else he could have entered through. Not true. Ooh, we did our own one-hand slam. I can imagine one possibility at least. What? I can think of one other way, besides the door, that the victim could have appeared from. Oh, we're shocking everybody. Very well. Then the court orders the attorney to show us. On the omnibus in which the crime took place, where could the victim possibly have entered the coach? The roof window. Or the skylight. I hope that works. Obviously, he entered through the skylight. Woohoo! The skylight? Bloody hell. I have no words potent enough to rebut that foolish claim. If the skylight was wide enough, it should be possible to drop through it. That's not the point. Do you have any evidence to base your absurd outbursts on? When they were in the omnibus, Mr. McGonagall and Miss Lestrade heard a loud noise. Oh! Oh god, was he already dead? And like dumped through the skylight? I never even thought of that. Mr. McGonagall and Miss Lestrade heard a loud noise as if a person had fallen. No, my first thought was maybe that was him landing, but no, somebody could have just dumped the body. Well, yes. That must have been the sound of the victim being stabbed and falling to the floor. However, if you fell from your seat to the floor, would that really make such a loud noise? It must have been loud enough to make Miss Lestrade scream after all. You can't be saying... At that moment, the victim appeared from the skylight. No, rather than appeared, what I should say is... he dropped down from the skylight. Oh... You're saying he fell into the coach from above? What nonsense, that's impossible. What makes you so sure? If your claim that he dropped from the skylight is true, then the people seated on the roof of the coach should have witnessed his descent. But as you should know, they did not mention that in their testimonies. That is true, but... Might I interject for a moment? Oh, Mr. McGonagall. Certainly what Lord Van Zieks is saying is true. The two seated on the roof didn't say a word regarding the victim's descent. But if you ask me, it would be inaccurate to say that they did not mention that. You see... Wait, what? I'm very confused. They couldn't mention that. It happened before they were on board? That can't be the truth. It would seem those two gentlemen might have a reason preventing them from speaking the truth. Don't you feel the same way, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Ooh. Then might you be saying the two seated on the roof? Holy shit! Were the ones that used the knife? Ooh. Oh, they're back. I don't know why, but when he said that, it made me think of like a Western accent. What in the hell do you think you're doing? Or like a... What the fuck? Well, this guy's certainly animated. His hat stays on his head too. What was that just now? That's what we want to know. I won't take this lying down. God damn it. As if I even could. We must disagree with this. That's what we mean to convey. Mr. Fairplay. It's as if you're saying that I, or even I, had stabbed the victim with that knife. The gall of your insinuations. It galls me. I firmly object to your accusations. Objection. What the fuck? Yes, your accusations, we object. Why the hell did he become so animated? What the hell happened? Order, order. Order in the court. You're those two witnesses from before, aren't you? The court will not allow unexpected witnesses on the stand. Return to the waiting room. But this is far too cruel. This wounds us deeply. Surely you understand, right? My lord. Might I make a proposal? What is it, Lord Van Zieks? The defense was the side that ignored the rules of the court in the first place. They indicted these witnesses without basis, spitting on the idea of proper procedures. Indicted? I never meant it like that. It seems your English is lacking in practice, Japanese boy. Jeez. The victim dropped down from the skylight. You can't hypothesize that without first positing that the passengers on the roof were involved. Thus, you branded their testimony a lie and came to the conclusion that they're criminals. That is an unjust declaration here in Great Britain. I didn't mean it. My god. There's no evidence to back up this hypothesis. I know this is unreasonable, but I can't stand and watch as it ends here. What are you doing? Let him testify. Ooh. I knew that weird hat was suspicious from the very beginning. We've come this far, there's nothing left to do but settle it. We must dispose of the filth in our society. Testify, testify, testify! Oh my god! This is pretty good. Naruhodo, what in heaven's name is happening? The entire courtroom is hounding for blood. Rooftop witnesses. Yes, sir. The court orders you to testify again. This time, speak regarding the defense's accusation. Alright then. They seem oddly shifty. I didn't mean to. Huh. I wonder if they are actually involved. They must be. There's no more time to think. All I can do now is press on. Huh. Rebuttal to the accusation. There were only two of us on the roof seats, it's true. If an incident happened in a place like that, there's no way it would go unnoticed. I didn't even know the victim in the first damn place. There's no way I would. The skylight was always shut. We weren't able to open it. If the victim fell through the skylight, as you claim, then I demand evidence. I mean, that's a fair testimony, not gonna lie. Indeed, as far as the testimony goes. This sounds like a song from RuneScape. If one of these witnesses had truly committed such an obvious act, I cannot imagine that it would have gone unnoticed by the other witness. Right, that's right, I say. Like I said, we swear that. However, if you two were friends, then it would be a different story. According to Scotland Yard's investigation, there were no signs that these two had been collaborating. Huh, I don't trust the police or the rich. What is this atmosphere? Even though the flow of this trial is advantageous to our side, why do I feel such a sense of unease? Now then, attorney, your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Let's do it. Cross-examination! Rebuttal to the accusations. There are only 2 of us on the roof seats, it's true. Giotto! The victim, Mr. Mortar, didn't come up to the roof. Right, correct. Indeed. He did not. Okay. No doubt about it. You get it by now. No, that's right, that is... I saw it. What? The victim was inside the coach talking to this man. Is that true, defendant? Dear oh dear. I don't like to have to repeat myself. I was alone in the omnibus. What's more, I was sleeping. Nonsense. I'm sure of it. There was definitely someone. And do you have any evidence of that? Huh? In a modern trial, evidence is everything. There's no harm in remembering that. Curses! Foiled again! I saw it. I know I did. Good grief. If an incident happened in a place like that, there's no way it would go unnoticed. True. It was around 10 o'clock when the incident occurred, on the last trip of the night, correct? Wouldn't it have been dark outside, making it difficult for you both to see very well? No. What are you... No. What he means is, what a stupid thing to say. This guy's super heated. If that's the case, then perhaps you dozed off for a moment instead. Well, that's... I mean, well, that's... What a non-statement. No, what are you... That's what he was trying to get at here. They're in cahoots. They've gotta be. How about you go out there on a frigid night yourself and see if you can just doze off? I thought for sure I'd never be able to pry my eyelids apart again. I see. Sounds like it must have been extremely cold outside then. That's right, and this man locked the coach from the inside. Ah. We knocked on the door, but he wouldn't even open it. Wouldn't even open it for us. Ah, for that I must express my sincerest apologies. I was sound asleep, I simply didn't even notice. Look at his face! Liar. At the time you were talking to someone inside the coach. It was quite cold that night. It would not be so strange for you to have seen some sort of illusion. Illusion? It appears pursuing this point will be fruitless. Oy. Look at him, he's like... I don't even understand what the hell their animations are supposed to be. If you're going to label me a suspect, then it is only fair to label you both as such, as well. Equal, free competition is the basis of the emerging capitalist society. I don't want to be a part of any such competition. That was only the second statement. I didn't even know the victim in the first damn place. There's no way I would. The victim thrice-fired mortar. Did you never meet him before the incident? Right. Absolutely right. I've absolutely never met him. That's what he's trying to get at. Mr. Ladyfirst, is that true for you as well? Of course, because I'm just a simple hatter. Wait, you made his hat. You definitely made his hat. Look at the fucking hat. Wait, people. Look at it. That's his hat. You can't see my cursor, I keep forgetting. But just know I'm pointing at the hat. Look at his hat, and then look at Ladyfirst's. They're really similar. I'm guessing he made his hat. I don't think that has anything to do with it. In other words, what we're trying to say is... fuck's sake, it scares me. We are absolutely unrelated to these people. What is that there? What the hell? Oh nice, it turns a little portrait. Oh, it's cool. Alright. I guess that's what I'm going for. Mr. McGundle. Oh, excuse me. Mr. McGundle, if I may. Yes, of course, my good barrister. Did that testimony jog your memory about anything? So these two are completely unrelated to this case, hmm? Oh. What are you going on about? Master Fairplay. It's been some time, hasn't it? Huh? You know, I believe it's about that time. Your deadline is fast approaching. That's... Let's see, I believe it was 20 guineas you borrowed from me, correct? That can't be legal. Such outrageous interest rates. You deceived me. So, one might safely say you're harbouring some resentful feelings towards me, yes? So much so that you might have... or you might have such a motive to cast your own sins upon me. Oh. And then we have you, Master Ladyfirst. Me? What about me? You are a milliner, a crafter of hats. Did you perchance also make that very fine silk hat you've got there? Huh? Well, I'm still in training, you see. I take the customer's measurements and make a hat that fits them just right. It fits them just right. That seems a bit too personalised, doesn't it? But we have customers who say they really like such personalisation. For instance, the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mortar. What? Just a while ago, I saw that a photo of the crime scene was submitted into evidence, but... Yes, would this be the one? This is a very unique silk hat. I can't help but feel as though I've seen it somewhere before. Ah. I made this. Our bricklaying victim seems to have been a customer of yours. And I would wager there had been some manner of dispute over that unique hat. Huh? No way, I never. In short, what I'm trying to say is, you two fine gentlemen are by no means unrelated to the case. And that's all there is to it. Absurd. Feels like he's doing a better job defending himself than I am. Mr. McGundle has certainly done his research, hasn't he? I get the feeling he knows stuff about everybody. Now, how about we continue this trial? The skylight was always shut. We weren't able to open it. Okay. The skylight was closed, is that correct? Why, of course, there's no doubt about it. That's what he's trying to say. Why can he not talk? See here, direct your attention toward the omnibus. Indeed, behold! Even now, is it not firmly shut? Well now. I'm sure if absolutely necessary, a body could have been dropped through. Huh? Simply look at how large that skylight is. No. Size has nothing to do with it. Ah yes, you tried to look at the big picture here. Oh, great. Once before I was riding that omnibus and, well, you see, I broke wind. Even I myself was surprised by it. Why are you admitting this all of a sudden? Hang on. See, at that time I tried to open the skylight. But I just couldn't get it open, so it stunk up so it stunk up the inside. I started blushing and broke out in a sweat, and I could feel everyone staring at me. And why are you confessing this again? Well, that is, in other words, that skylight can't be opened. I've tried opening it from the inside. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell was that? Oh no! Shit, I didn't question her. The skylight doesn't open. Like I said, in other words. Question, maybe. Can I question them regardless? Oh, I can. No, that's not it. There's just no way to kick the victim down there. Down from there. I never said anyone had to have been kicked down. Anyway, let me fill you in on the bigger picture here. Right, I need to... Statement 4. This statement's great. Well, you see, I broke wind. It's just such an... not absurd, it's such a random thing to say. I'm just fast forwarding. I broke wind. I must admit, I was surprised by it too. I don't want to keep... Yeah, I don't want to keep skipping, otherwise I'll get by it again. There we go. Oh! She looks completely different. Question! Alright, what does she have to say? Gina, tell us. Excuse me, Miss Lestrade. Miss Lestrade. Okay. It does open. Hmm? You're talking about that skylight, right? Oh god. What the fuck? The thing opens just fine. It doesn't seem like you're using that weapon of yours just fine, though. Ridiculous. I mean, when I, tooted... You can't get it open from the inside, you know? What? Not too long ago, I chose to ride on the roof of that coach. Things went well enough, I'd say. In fact, I even made off with my pockets full of wallets. Please refrain from boasting to us about your accomplishments as a pickpocket. But then, something blooming scary happened. When I went to pinch the fourth bloke's wallet, suddenly they spotted me. They all beamed in on me, and I wasn't even able to hop off the coach to get away. So I opened the skylight at me feet and escaped. I just undid the lock. How can that be? The skylight's lock is on the roof, so you can't open it from the inside. You can't open it from the inside? Bailiff. Please attempt to open that skylight post-haste. Okay. We're gonna see it open? I can see the latch. Well, I never. You see? Well. Order, order. I will have order. It appears the young lady's testimony is true. So the skylight could have been opened from the rooftop. Naruhodo. I bet this new information will become a vital clue for us. Now, defense, please resume your cross-examination. Okay. Yes, my lord. So the skylight can be opened, huh? Maybe I should double-check it. Yes, maybe. If the victim fell through the skylight as you claim, then I demand evidence. I'm just gonna press, so then I can examine it. Evidence, you say? What is that? I didn't really look at this all that much. Can I look at the sky? Oh, there we go. So if I go to examine the skylight, will it zoom in on it? There we go. The skylight is locked shut by this latch. Now that it's been unfastened, it should be possible to open this. So we have... I've not really examined the full thing. I probably should have. Let us tear open the door and charge into the omnibus. Maybe there's a hint on the inside? Oh, maybe not. Wait a minute. There is! Is that blood? I suppose that if the skylight opened about this far, then a gentleman of, say, your size could likely be kicked down through it. Hey, why does it have to be me? Susato, what's the matter? This. Look here. There's no mistaking it. It's a bloodstain. Why? Why would a bloodstain be left in a place like this? Maybe... it could very well be related to the case. Oh, there we go. There's a bloodstain on the skylight's inner frame. And I think that's all I needed. I can actually present that to Statement 5, I think. Evidence, you say? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We just came here so that we could tell you what we witnessed. And yet, you paint us as criminals. It's completely unfair. That's what we're trying to say here. At present, as no conclusive evidence has yet been found, I believe both myself and you lot are in equally dire situations, are you not? Are we not? Huh? I should probably calm him down, and fast. There we go. Are those two really related to the case? I'm not sure. After all, I don't know either of them. However, I don't know anything about Mr. McGundle either. What am I supposed to believe? Naruhodo? In court, the only thing that can determine the outcome is evidence. Evidence? Even all these jurors. They can't raise an objection to decisive evidence. In other words, we have to find that decisive evidence. I have. That's right. Yeah, now I'm gonna go back through the statements. I really wish you could check stuff. Unless, maybe I could if I went to present. Oh, I could. Oh, whoops. My bad. I didn't need to go through that statement. There we go. Oh, then I demand evidence. Oh, you demand it, eh? Well, there you go. That night, the victim was stabbed by someone with a knife, and he lost his life. After that, the culprit dropped the body into the coach from the skylight. The decisive piece of evidence that proves this was clearly left behind within the omnibus itself. Oh, it's this song. Huh? Preposterous. Such evidence can't possibly exist. Yeah. Because we're not criminals. You think decisive evidence is inside the omnibus? Defense. Sir, it appears we must request a more detailed indication. Show us the nature of this evidence that was left behind at the scene of the crime. Oh, we're inside. The evidence showing that the victim fell down through the skylight is... Oh, there. I was about to say, where is it? Present. Crocodile? Isn't this a bloodstain? Huh? This bloodstain proves two things. When the incident occurred, the skylight of the coach was open. And furthermore, the victim passed through the skylight while bleeding. Oh. So at the very least, for Mr. McGundle, who was inside the coach, this crime was impossible. You lie. Things are getting spicy. Order. Wait, who said that? Oh. But... That blood could have just splattered from inside. How fortuitous would it have been for blood to only land on the skylight's hatch? What? Furthermore, the skylight can only be opened from the rooftop seats, correct? I couldn't have opened it at all. But... We can't really know for sure whether the body fell through the skylight. If that is not enough for the good jurors, I asked the court to examine the omnibus floor. With what we know now, these stains could only be one thing. Traces left by the fallen victim, rest his soul. No. You lie. What the who was that? Oh, it was him. My fellow jurors. I think we can all agree on a not guilty verdict. Indeed. I have come to realise just who the real filth here is. The hell is this? We had the wool pulled over our eyes this entire time. Oh wow. She's going real quick. Look at that slap. Oh, beautiful. How dare they soil the inside of our guild's couches? I was the only one who had it right after all. Right then, on 3 everyone. Wait, really? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you bastard! Fuck my life. I must commend you, Cosney McGundle. Whatever do you mean, Lord Barrack Van Zieks? Bloodstains on the skylight. Such evidence is invalid. What the fuck? He looks pissed. What are you talking about? There is but one reason for my assertion. Tampered. Those traces never existed to begin with. What? What are you saying? Any way you look at it, you can clearly see that this is a bloodstain. I myself was present for Scotland Yard's investigation. The investigation unit searched the omnibus from top to bottom. Ergo, I am able to assert this with uttermost certainty. Or surety. No such traces ever existed. At the very least, that was true when this trial began. So then the bloodstain... Someone forged it during this very trial. What? That's why you don't use a crime scene as evidence. Oh dear. I can't believe Lord Barrack Van Zieks of all people would make such a reckless remark. I am Cosney McGundle, a celebrity of our dear city of London. Thus I am compelled to firmly oppose any baseless slander. Even if it comes from the so-called Grim Reaper. Cosney McGundle, you have never once taken the witness stand until today's trial, and yet, I have felt your influence in the shadows of many crimes. Without lifting a finger, you have involved yourself in a great number of incidents. And then you tamper with them to your liking. He tampered with other incidents? As he earned riches by his usury and crimes, he felt that his wealth could accomplish anything. Twisting evidence, interfering with crime scenes, and bribing witnesses to speak as he wills. All of it to create a convenient tale, beneficial to him alone. Dear me, what utter nonsense. Don't you agree, my good... Oh, pardon me, my good barrister? Yes. You've heard the prosecutor's desperate claims, right? When the trial started, the bloodstain did not exist. But, if you'll recall, ever since the trial began, the omnibus has been right here in plain view. I never had the chance to forge a fake bloodstain. Oh. Isn't that right, barrister? He's right. No, the smoke. The omnibus has been in front of our eyes this whole time. Attorney. You didn't call me Japanese boy for once. Let us hear your own thoughts, in your own words, from your own mouth. Understood. During this trial, could someone have forged the bloodstain in the coach? It was possible. Unfortunately. A defense attorney stands in court for his client's sake. But I'm starting to think there's something even more important. The truth. There may be no evidence that the defendant did something like that. However, If he had even a single chance to do so, it's entirely possible. Oh? Huh? What's this? When there was smoke, would be when I would have said. Precisely. It seems our Oriental attorney wants no part in building up the smokescreen of falsehood. Falsehood? Everyone in this courtroom should clearly remember this. This trial has taken a single recess. Thanks to the smoke bomb set off by this witness, Miss Lestrade. What's going on? And yeah, during this it could have been planted. Naruhodo, we're in danger. Get down close to the ground. Bailiffs, don't let the defendant escape. Secure the omnibus. The court declares an emergency recess. The bailiffs will capture the defendant and assist evacuating the courtroom. There we go. The smoke completely obscured our vision in the courtroom, and it descended into chaos. We were all forced out into the waiting lobby as a result. In that single moment, it would have been possible to approach the omnibus. Don't you toy with me. What are you playing at, you filthy amateurish upstart? Amateurish upstart? You're no barrister. This is some kind of conspiracy. Whether he's a barrister or an amateurish upstart, the facts remain unchanged. After the trial's smoke bomb induced recess ended, there appeared a number of oddities in the omnibus. Explain these oddities. First was the trunk beneath the seat. Oh, that it was empty. When the police examined it, they confirmed that the driver's tools were inside. And as for the bloodstain on the skylight, like before, it did not exist when the trial began this morning. However, Lord Van Zieks, I'm afraid to say it, but neither of those facts were confirmed during this trial. That's right. When the omnibus was brought before the court, they were both closed. As such, it is difficult to confirm any fabrication of the crime scene. Quite so. It is possible that not a single person would be able to confirm for certain. What do you think, Naruhodo? Susato? In the omnibus, are there any other traces of evidence you find unnatural? I know! My lord. What is it, defense? There is one more spot in the omnibus, which bears traces of evidence that should not exist. What? What are you trying to say this time, barrister? If you plan to betray me, you had better watch your back. Ooh. The defendant will cease with his worthless ranting. The court eagerly awaits the defense's answer. Ooh. Won't we fail the test, though? This trial is a blend of truths and falsehoods. Just where is it going to take us next? It seems it's up to you to show us the answer. The third unnatural trace that appeared on the crime scene is... Yeah, not that. The blood. Even if you look at it, it looks a bit odd by comparison. Yep, the blood stain on the floor. Not examined. Present. If we assume the victim was stabbed on the rooftop and dropped through the skylight, then it's only natural that there would be a large bloodstain just below. But as far as I can remember, when this omnibus was first presented to the court, there wasn't a bloodstain there. Ah. Now that you say it, I feel as though you may be correct. Well said. And to assert such a thing as his attorney, for once that was no thoughtless blunder. Yeah, well. These bloodstains were thought to be decisive proof. But I cannot deny the possibility that someone maliciously forged evidence inside the omnibus. But who? Is this gonna end with a verdict or what? He did do it. This trial is over. Mr. McGundle. Up until now I have cooperated with this court to the full extent of my ability. But now it's finished. But you're the defendant, so... Oh god. I said this trial is finished. Memory? You all know it means nothing. Look at the facts. Those traces are the truth. But... And even though he's wasted all this time, Lord Reaper over there can't present any concrete evidence. Really, the Grim Reaper? What a joke. Well, my lord. Indeed, memory is not valid evidence. The bloodstains at the crime scene do indeed exist at present. So as long as there is no way to prove that they previously did not exist, then it is impossible to prolong this trial any further. But... do you have any comments, Lord Van Zieks? The prosecution has presented all the testimony and evidence we had to offer. Well, that is all. He looks major pissed. Understood. If all the possibilities have been discussed, then the court must move on to its verdict. As a formality, the court would like to confirm the defence's stance. What does he mean, formality? It seems at this rate, Mr. McGundle will receive a not guilty verdict. Not guilty? It would be our victory. Is this really okay? Should I really end the trial like this? Defense, deliver your closing statement. Understood. The defense pleads. Yep. I know I'm supposed to be on his defense, but I also seek the truth. At any time we brought up anything that may have actually led to the truth, he threw a hissy fit. Which means he more than likely did it. Don't think it matters what I choose. I am the appointed attorney of the defendant, Cosney McGundle. However, at this point in time, I can't decisively plead that he is not guilty. What's this? It's true that there is no evidence conclusively enough to prove that he committed the crime. However, I don't believe that his innocence can be proven yet either. What did you say? Order, order, order! This is completely unprecedented. The defense isn't arguing for the defendant's innocence. I wasn't wrong to accept you as my defense. Well, you've put on such a wonderful show, even at the very end. Go on, take your tip. Your job is done here. Thank you for all you've done for me today. What do you mean? As the Honourable Lord Judge so aptly said just moments ago, as long as this trial cannot continue, then the defence's plea, as the word implies, remains nothing but a formality. Even for us, the situation is too much to settle. Ultimately, is any of this evidence real? If only we could just close our eyes and dispose of all the filth. Death to all the moneybags is the only way for us to know peace. Doubting the man who donated that beautiful park? Oh, I've embarrassed myself. As long as this situation stands, it will be impossible to continue this trial. A verdict cannot be passed. Thus, we shall heed the defendant's request. You have my gratitude, my lord. So he did do it. Without further ado, it is now time for the verdict. Wait, what? But we still don't know if the bloodstains in the coach are real or not. Or even if these witnesses' testimonies are true or full of lies. We still don't know a single thing about the truth. Lord Van Zieks? Yes? This is all to due to the prosecution's lack of sufficient proof. That is all there is to it. The possibility remains that illegal forged evidence was planted in the omnibus. The court believes that the prosecution is to blame for this. My sincerest apologies. But at the time, Prosecutor Van Zieks did in fact issue an order to preserve the omnibus. Ultimately, he is the one at fault for this. He cannot avoid his responsibility. No. As of yet, the court cannot pass a guilty verdict. Therefore, there is no need to leave the verdict to the jurors. What? Today has been quite rough, Prosecutor Van Zieks? For you and for my esteemed barrister as well. Then what is the point of us even being here? These are simply the laws of our great British courtrooms. If you want to keep this trial in session, then why not start by changing the law? Cosney McGundle. Oh, is there something you'd like from the Great McGundle? Allow me to give you but a single warning. Do not think that this is over. I look forward to your next reaping then. Now I shall announce the verdict for Cosney McGundle. He's gonna not guilty. That's not a victory though, that feels hollow. It is not a victory, there's no cheers or anything. No one's clapping, there's the fireworks and confetti, but that's it. Nobody is happy with that result. Except for Cosney, because, you know, he got off scot-free. Is this even possible? This is all wrong. Go through the evidence again. What are you talking about? Haven't his suspicions all been cleared up? Is that where it's going to end? The Park House fell into a second round of chaos as the verdict was passed down. My first trial in the Great British Empire had ended. With the client's innocence. In other words, our victory. Certainly did not feel like a victory. Your defense was well fought, Naruhodo. Oh, hey, Sasito. Your first victory in a foreign land. It was awe-inspiring. Congratulations, from the bottom of my heart. I should thank you, Sasito. Was this really for the best, though? In the end, we still know nothing about the truth of this case. We just didn't have the time to find the truth. But who murdered Mr. Mortar? We still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. The one and only mission of the attorney is to fight for a favourable verdict for his client. And in my opinion, you carried out your mission perfectly. She's right, you know. Is that Cosney? Oh. Mr. McGundle. And she's with him too. The rumours were true after all, eh? Huh? What rumours? When the Crown Court hands down a not guilty verdict, they fire off 6 great fireworks. Did you see it? It was a beautiful sight. Yeah, it sure was. I've heard so much about the liberating sight of fireworks from the defendant's stand. And I owe it all to you, don't I, my good barrister? No, honestly, I don't think it was my effort that freed you. Oh, please, this again? What else could it have been? Instead of my effort, I'd rather call this victory your handiwork. Well, to be entirely frank, You put me through some frightening moments along the way. But let's just call those the missteps of youth and let it all be water under the bridge. Congratulations on your not guilty verdict, Mr. McGundle. Congratulations. Even though the mystery remains a mystery? There's only one thing of importance to me. What? That would be money. Having all of those fools acknowledge that I did not commit the crime. That crime. What do you think? Feels great, doesn't it? Right. Let's leave the rest to the yard, the pride of our capital. They will surely reveal the truth. That is what I believe, at least. You see, I paid them a great sum to make certain of it. Why am I not surprised? No. As promised, I'll be paying you 1,000 guineas, and I won't hear a single word of complaint. No. I can't take that much money. My, you Japanese really are modest. Very well then. If that's how it must be. Take this. It's a tip. Cosney McGundle. Oh. The preparations are complete, so if you would please move to the Crown Court. Crown Court? Oh, this is much earlier than I was led to believe. I'm very sorry, the plans have changed somewhat. Well, you heard the man. I must excuse myself now. I will be stuck inspecting the crime scene for a while yet, I am told. What for? It seems that the omnibus will have to undergo another investigation, given the circumstances. They said that they want me to be present for it, if at all possible. A re-investigation. To tell the truth, I have no obligation to follow through with it. But as a London celebrity, I'm willing to cooperate as much as possible. That is a gentleman's duty, you see. Farewell now. It is a pleasure to have met you. I pray that you have an enjoyable time as exchange students. Yeah, I do not trust him. At all. There he goes. Oh, you're here. Oh, right, she was here. Don't move her bleeding muscle. She's handling that ammunition as inefficiently as ever. Miss Lestrade? Gina? Could you refrain from pulling out such a dangerous weapon? Stupid adults. Huh? I ate the bloomin' lot of you. Oh, you were here all along. Oh, ooh. Oh, who the fuck are you? You're tiny! What? What is happening? You can try to run from me, but you can't hide. Who in the world is this little girl? God, she's tiny! Stealing things is a big no-no. You know that. Oh god. Now we're so excited to test out my new smoke launcher prototype for myself. She has a bazooka. You wanna fight? I bet I can beat you. Excuse me, who even are you? Oh yeah, well, you could call me an inventor? I made the smoke launcher. An inventor? Hey, you know how smoke screens are? They're just big, boring white blobs. So if you're gonna be covered by smoke, why can't that smoke at least be cute? I'd rather just avoid the smoke screen in the first place. Thanks. I look away for one tiny second during my omnibus transfer, and suddenly it's gone. It's a good thing I put that tracking device on it, huh? Tracking device? I have no idea what she's talking about. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you're coming back to the lab with me. What? But why? Don't play dumb. You need to go apologise to my technician. Apologise? When you do bad things, you apologise. Didn't you ever learn that, or learn from the adults around you? Adults? What? But I... Well, are you coming with me or not? Gordon Bennett. Fine then. Ooh, you're pretty docile after all. Obviously because she has a huge weapon trained on her. Does this girl have a name? Well, the two of us should be on our way now. I do apologise for this disturbance. Okay, she doesn't have a name. She's on my thumbnail. I don't have a clue who the hell she is, but she's on my thumbnail. What a lively little girl. She's tiny. She's so small. Oh my god. I believe we should be moving on as well. Yeah, you're right. But where exactly can we move on to? Huh? After all, we came straight to this courthouse after we arrived in London. The bailiff still has our belongings, and we have nowhere to sleep for the night. I had originally planned to search for lodgings before the day was over. Hey, little flame. How's it going? But no, we won't have enough time, right? There's no need to fear. If push comes to shove, then we could at least rest ourselves at McGundle Park. McGundle Park. The nights are rather cold at this time of year. But we can enjoy it with the vigour of youth. I'm good, thanks for asking. How about yourself? I wonder. A night in London, in the dead of winter. Young or old, you'll probably freeze to death. Oh, I'd rather not freeze. If I knew it would come to this, I really would have accepted those 1,000 guineas. There we go. End of episode. And so, on the day of my arrival in London, my evaluation as an attorney came to a close. However, afterward, it was made fully clear to us. That's what the Reaper had said to be true, or had said was true. This case was absolutely not over. And there it is. Oh, we have another cutscene. What the fuck? They burnt the omnibus!
わかりません。私が駆けつけた時にはもう現場検証が始まるまで立ち入り禁止のはずではないか。
Oh, McGundle. Wait, someone's in there. Oh no.
まさか
Bloody hell.
中に誰かいるのか。
Oh no. Ew.
なんという。
There's Von Zietz. He doesn't. Oh, he's got a scar. That's what that is. So they burnt down the remaining evidence. Or, basically, they burnt down the evidence. Bastards! The end. Wow, okay. Well, shit. That's not good. We shall never know what truly happened. Adventures of the Runaway Room is now done. Episode 4, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. That'll be next session. That's what we'll be starting. I don't know how long Case 4 is. I know Case 5's a doozy, but Case 4 might not be all that bad. Yeah, just save wherever. Woohoo! Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought. An hour and 48 minutes. Not too bad. Either way, that is going to be the end of this session. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And until next time, take care. And for those who stopped by the stream, thanks for stopping by. It's much appreciated. Have a good day, and I'll see you next stream.